Hello, I think we're recording now. Sometimes there's a lag with this and I'm never quite sure. Sandy Bakos here, Sandy B. Stitcher. It is Sunday and it's just after 12 noon. We have been to church this morning and then out to breakfast and now have returned home. And I gathered up my stuff and I thought, let's get this video going before something else happens. Wow, what a week. We had the snow that I told you about last week, and then we had that bitter cold, and last weekend our pellet stove decided to quit working, and so we had a couple of really cold days in here until my husband was able to get that thing running again. And I know one morning it was, with the electric heaters, it was 59 when I got up, and the next morning it was 61. But he was able to keep messing with it, and he finally got it working again. So, fingers crossed that it stays running. We went out and got loads and loads of wood and brought it up, and we ran our wood furnace as often as we could. And then we were having problems with that because the thermostat for the blower wasn't working correctly. And I ordered one online, and we didn't get that until I think Friday. And on top of all that, I started not feeling well. I had an earache and apparently a cold. I'm taking cold medication and it is helping. So that's why no video until today. And then the coup de grace of everything. Can you see this? Can you see that picture? This was a half a mile from my house. And now I will tell you about it. Apparently, at 3:30 in the morning, oh, there's one of my kitties. That's Buddy back there. He must think that he's going to get up there and lay in my stitchy chair. Well, that'll change after a little bit. Anyways, about 3:30 in the morning, a guy was apparently headed home, and I don't know if he was an impaired driver or what, but he ran off the road and hit the house that is no longer there and actually sheared off their gas meter. Those people woke up. It was a husband and wife. They woke up because they heard the crash. They ran downstairs. They could hear the whooshing sound of the gas and smell that it was already filling their house. The husband ran to try to prop open doors and windows, hoping to keep the house from exploding. The wife ran to get their dogs and let their dogs out. They have a 7-year-old Mastiff and a 4-year-old Mastiff. And he told her husband, yelled, said, "Get out of the house." She ran, the dogs ran. A deputy arrived because the deputy substation is just around the corner, because she ran out and called 911. A deputy got there. He saw the vehicle. It was an SUV in the house practically, and he ran to it to see if there was someone still in it. The guy had gotten out of the vehicle and run, but the deputy didn't know that. He was just very close to that vehicle and the house, and the whole thing exploded. And apparently the woman was frantic because she thought her husband was still inside. Well, fortunately, he was on the outside. But the deputy was thrown by the blast. I don't know how many feet. It blew out all the windows of his cruiser, leveled the house, started a massive fire, and I slept through it. And so did my husband. It's about a half a mile away. The guy the dogs ran, the man ran. He must have been impaired, and that must have been why he ran. They found the one dog ran to the Holiday Inn Express, which is back behind my house on the other side of the woods towards Route 2, less than half a mile to the north. And the older dog, somebody walked into Holiday Inn and the dog walked in right behind him. And they videotaped that. That was on Facebook. And but they couldn't find the younger dog. And they were just frantically, they were posting it all over the place. It was all over the Cleveland TV news. There was helicopters flying all over the place. They were trying to find the dog. Eventually, they did find the dog later in the day, not too far down the road the other way. There's a golf course down there, maybe about a half mile or so past their house. And they found the dog there. It was huddled by a generator that was still giving off a little bit of heat. This happened the middle of the week when it was that really, really, really cold. The guy ran. They were able to identify who owned the vehicle from the plates, and they eventually found him in a vacant home on the state route along here that runs by. And he had broken into that house and was hiding in a closet, I think. And he was jailed and charged with burglary, possessing criminal tools, because apparently he got a crowbar from somewhere to break into that house. And then, the whole bit, fleeing the scene of the accident and all of it. These people have lost every single thing they owned. They ran out of the house about 3:30 in the morning in their pajamas with no shoes, nothing. And within 10 minutes of the time that the crash happened, the house exploded. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. All their mementos, everything gone. Just like that. I talked to somebody at church this morning that said that they drove by there. I've not gone by there. I don't think I want to see that. Bob said he went and looked, and he says it's just a black mess of rubble because of the fire. But this neighbor said that this person at church said that when he went by there were people out there. He assumed the family members were trying to go through some of the stuff and probably see if there's anything salvageable. But they took up a collection for them. There was a collection site set, and people have been donating. It's just, can you imagine? You go to bed one night and then get woke up, and a few minutes after you get woke up, your house explodes and you lose everything. They had 2 new vehicles gone. Everything. They have a firefighter. We have volunteer fire department here, and there was a volunteer firefighter that lived a few houses down from them, and that was where they initially ran to. And the fire department provided them with those big jackets and pants and everything that the firefighters wear in the cold weather. And so that's what they were wearing when they were being interviewed on TV and when they were looking for their dog. Both dogs at first, and then still looking. They didn't find the pup until, I guess, early afternoon. But oh my. So that was some excitement around here, and that was Wednesday night, I believe that happened, Thursday into Thursday morning, and that was about the same time that I started not feeling well. So consequently, between the times when I was so cold that all I could do was huddle under a blanket and stare at the TV a little bit, and not feeling well, and everything else that's been going on, I didn't get a lot of stitching done, but I do have some things to show you. I do have some charts to give away. I have some more charts to show you, and so I'm going to get to that right now. Last weekend for Cross Stitch Finish Lines Stitch-a-thon, I had worked on Shades of Summer, and for the Stitch-a-thon, I worked on this section over here, and I had this page finished coming down here, except for just a couple of stitches in and amongst there that I didn't get. And I went in there and I stitched everything from here on down. A lot of confetti. I think I finished about 650 some stitches for the Stitch-a-thon, which runs from Friday night at 5 until Sunday at midnight. And of course, I don't stitch in the evenings because once the sun is totally gone, number one, when it gets to be about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm tired. And on top of that, my eyes start giving me issues, and I don't stitch then. So this was pretty much daytime stitching here. Then I pulled it out again yesterday, I think it was, and for a little bit this morning, and I went over here, and if you can remember, I had been working on this page over here. It's a partial page to finish. This is the end of the pattern here. And so I went in and I did a whole bunch of fill-in in here today. Didn't go much past here, but I did a whole lot of fill-in there and filled that all in. So those top couple of blocks are finished. And I will, got a thread there, I will continue on that. I think I'll continue working on Shades of Summer the rest of this week. There'll be another Stitch-a-thon coming up this next weekend, and then I will work on my Haid. But for right now, here's Shades of Summer. And I love it. Even though there's a lot of confetti in there, I love it. So, there's that. Then during the middle, first part of the week, I had spun my decision roulette wheel, and it had landed on Sweet Land of Liberty. And so I got that one out. And this one is on some coffee tea dyed Aida, and it is stiffer than... I probably should have rinsed this again after it dried, and I didn't, but it's pretty stiff. But this is where I'm at with this one, and I'll show you what I stitched this time. Everything up here had been done, and I had started this motif here. So what I did was I completely finished that motif there. So here's the whole thing. And then I decided I was thinking about working on this a little bit more and maybe spinning the wheel again midweek. And I decided that in the same container that I keep Sweet Land of Liberty, I had Free Kittens in there. So I thought, well, this one's already down here. It's out. I haven't worked on this one in a while. So I thought, let's get this one out and work on it. And this is on fabric that I love. It's the 14 count Fiddler's Light. And so I got this out. And I did... all of this over here had been done, this part. And I had... the stitching mostly in here except for some fill in here on the sides of the hair, and I did not have the back stitching in there, and I didn't have any of this. So I went in, I did all of this, I back stitch all of that, went in, did the back stitching up around this side and the top, and I did all these stitches below her neck here. And I was going to go in and finish up the back stitching on her hair and put her face in, but then my eyes were bothering me a little bit, and so I picked up Shades of Summer, different colors, I was working on the lighter colors on Shades of Summer. So I picked that up and started working on that again last night or late yesterday afternoon. But you know what? I think I haven't made up my mind yet. I may keep this out and work on this a little bit more before I put it away, or I may go ahead today and spin that wheel, or I may work on Shades of Summer. I'm kind of unsettled about what I want to stitch on. I know I want to stitch because there was days there where I think one day I didn't stitch at all because I just was so cold. But there I am. So we'll see. You'll see next week what I decided to do. All right, that was all the stitching. Not a lot, huh? Compared to what I usually do. All right, now I want to move this stuff back over here because I would like to tell you who gets the charts. And all right, the first one that I have here is the bunny. And I'll show these to you and then I'll say. This was the sampler, the wedding sampler. And this was the Easter sampler with the little bunny. And I think the way we set those up, let me look at my paper here. Somewhere here I have multiple papers, so I'm just working my way. Okay, let's do the wedding sampler first. The wedding sampler, I did the random number generator, and the winner of this one is Misty Elkins. So there, Misty Elkins, this will be coming to you. And I think that the way we did this is we said that this was the bunny sampler and this other one was the bunny. So the bunny sampler is going to go to Pixie Stitch, and the other bunny this one is going to go to Vicky Pickstock. Okay? Oh, my nose is starting to run again. I may have to pause you here so I took cold medicine and it's helping to a certain extent, so I'm feeling much better today than I was yesterday. I just felt really tired. Okay, so the next step. Let me pause here for just a second so that I can take care of my nose. Okay, took care of my drippy nose and got a drink of water. And so now I'm good to go again. All right, the charts for this time. The first one is Old Woman in a Shoe. And along with that one, you will also get this basket with flowers, fruit. I said flowers, it's fruit. And also, on the back here, there is not a picture, there's just the charts for the wild ponies. So if you would like to stitch this one, just say Old Woman in a Shoe. The next one are these pretty flowers. Springtime, yay! And I think that is all that is there for that one, so just say you'd like to stitch the flowers. Next one is a Victorian sampler. And I believe that along with this, there are several of these flower charts in here. I don't have pictures for all of them, but there are several. There's a tulip and the one that I just showed you the picture, and then there's also a lily. And let's see, that is the chart for the sampler. And then on the back, there's just a chart, no picture for Executive Bunny. So for this one, Let's see, I said flowers, and the other one was old woman in a shoe. For this one, just say you'd like to stitch the sampler. Okay, so those are the charts for the next time, and I will close that out at the end of the day on, let's see, today is February 3rd. Let's close that out the end of the day on Thursday the 7th. And then I will give those away on Friday the 8th or whenever it is when I come back. Today is, yeah, February 3rd today. Yesterday was my youngest granddaughter's 16th. I'm going to have to think about that. 16th birthday, I think. They're getting so old, I can't keep up with them anymore. Okay, so we've given away the last week's charts, showing this week's charts, told you about the house, the coal, the stove, the carrying the wood. Oh, we did have one little, well, my husband had a little mishap. With our pellet stove, every so often you have to go and vacuum out the ashes from the bottom part. Kind of like you do when you have a fireplace. Every so often you have to clean the ashes out of there. Well, he had taken the, it's like a shop vac, but it's specially made for vacuuming ashes so it doesn't put so much ash into the air. He had taken it out to the workshop in the garage, taken the lid off of it, and then he was going to come back through the house to go out the back door to take it out by the woods and dump it. Well, as he came in, you know, with his Parkinson's, he falls often, and he fell. And ashes were all over him, all over one of the cat beds, all over a recliner, all over the floor. They were everywhere. What a mess. So that took me a little bit to get cleaned up, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Okay. I am very behind on a lot of things. Sending charts out, answering email. Those things are in my email, but I haven't answered them yet. And I have a lot of comments from my book review for January. If you happen to watch that, I have quite a few comments I haven't got to yet. I'm going to try in the next couple of days to get caught up. Sending charts out, reading the emails, getting the addresses, you know, the whole thing. I'm going to do my best to get caught up. I have housework and laundry and all that to get caught up to. When you're cold, you just want to burrow on a blanket and not do much of anything. And most of the time, this living room was anywhere from 62 to 64 degrees. And for me, personally, that's cold. My brother, I was talking to him, he called to make sure I was okay after he saw in the paper about that house explosion. And his wife just recently retired, and she did IT work and worked inside a computer room. And he said they kept it at 65 degrees in there, and that's what she's used to. So now she's at home, and he says she keeps setting it at 65, and he keeps going up there and cranking up to 70, and she keeps going back and turning it back down to 65, and he says, I'm freezing. I hear ya. I can relate to that. Okay, here's my commenters, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and for everybody that's watching. Craft and Bev, Julie Jenkins, Stitching by Lantern Light. Excuse me. Who's Your Apple, Pauline S., Brenda W.V. Stitcher, Linda Pattison, Vicki Pickstock, Pixie Stitch, Misty Elkins, Southernmost Stitcher, Country Tapestry, Betty Hewlin, why I can't say that, So Createful, Bendy Stitchy, Till the Last Stitch, and Lynn Blackwood. If I've missed anybody, I apologize. That's it. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming back week after week to visit with me. I apologize for anything that I did do I shouldn't have, and for anything that I didn't do but should have. Did I say that right? I don't know. But anyways, thank you. And I appreciate the fact that everybody's here. And if you have not subscribed yet and you're coming in to watch, I wish you would hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and leave me a comment. I love those comments. Even though it sometimes takes me a little while to get in there and heart them, I do read them on my phone as soon as I get the email, because I can read them in the email. But for some reason, I can't do YouTube on my phone. Maybe it's my phone. More than likely, it's just me. So hope everybody has a good week. The weather is great today. It's above 50. The sun is shining. We've got ponds in the yard because all the snow is melting. It's not all gone yet, but boy, it will be by the end of today. So until next week, next weekend or Friday or whenever, everybody take care. Hugs and love. Bye.